Virginia G. Piper music director Tito Muñoz conducts this program, focusing on the rich and influential French musical tradition, which begins with Debussy's instantly recognizable Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun, and culminating with his rapturous La Mer. Ravel's beloved Pavane for a Dead Princess evokes a stately dance from a 16th century Spanish court. The dynamic cellist Jay Campbell is soloist for Henri Dutilleux's Tout, monde, lointain, a meditation on the poet Charles Baudelaire written for cellist Mstislav Rostropovich. Claude Debussy was born in Saint-Germain-en-Laye, France, in 1862. While at the Universal Exposition in Paris, Debussy was inspired by Asian influences. Around this time, he began circulating with symbolist poets, and, in 1890, one such poet, Stéphane Mallarmé, outlined a theatrical project based on his poem L'après-midi d'un Faun, and invited Debussy to compose the music. The project was never completed, but Debussy used his preliminary work on the piece to complete an orchestral prelude in 1894. Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun debuted quietly that year, but its defining moment did not come until 1912, when Václav Nijinsky choreographed a ballet to the music for the Ballet Russe. Nijinsky danced the role of the Faun, and although the performance was condemned by a critic for its vile movements of erotic bestiality and gestures of heavy shamelessness, this piece has been performed by orchestras ever since. Debussy composed La Mer from 1903 to 1905. In this piece, he drew on friendships with poets and painters forged in the 1890s. Through his ideas, he created a new musical language in which sounds were celebrated for their sensory appeal instead of their harmonic function. The opening movement, From Dawn to Noon on the Sea, suggests a sense of awakening and a gloriously sunny state by the end. Play of the Waves transports sounds reminiscent of Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun into a saturated, fluent context. Dialogue of the Wind and the Sea uses dizzying themes and surging orchestral effects to evoke the full power of the sea. Henri Dutilleux was born in 1916 in Angers, France. After training at the Paris Conservatory, Dutilleux earned the establishment's seal of approval when he won the prestigious Rome Prize in 1938, although the outbreak of World War II cut his Italian residency short. Dutilleux solidified his sound in his 1948 piano sonata and honed his orchestral writing skills while composing his Symphony No. 1 in 1951. From 1967 to 1970, Dutilleux wrote and dedicated the cello concerto Tout, monde, lointain to Russian cellist Mstislav Rostropovich. The title and epigraphs came from Les Fleurs de Mal by French poet Charles Baudelaire. The piece flows through 5 movements entitled Enigma, Gaze, Surges, Mirrors, and Hymn, and ends with music that seems equivalent to an ellipsis, just as Dutilleux's original title does. Maurice Ravel was born in Cibourg, France, in 1875. He composed the piano solo Pavane pour un enfant défunt in 1899, while studying with Gabriel Fauré at the Paris Conservatory. The score was dedicated to a patron who hosted influential musical salons, Princess Edmond de Polignac. Following its debut in 1902, the Pavane became a favorite of amateur pianists in Paris and beyond. Ravel reluctantly accepted the piece's success, later noting its excessive influence of Chabrier and its rather poor form. He also complained that people played the piece too slowly, most likely because they misunderstood the title, which translates to Pavane for a Dead Princess. Ravel gave the piece this name simply because he enjoyed the alliterative ring of enfant défunt